Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is Gashi Skyman. President Ruto's team is leaving nothing to chance. The team is using an approach we call gather all, scatter none. If you look at William Samoei Ruto, when he formed the cabinet after he dismissed everyone apart from Musalia Mudavadi, he brought in even those who he had dropped. Even when he went for Amorodiga, he did not drop the people who people thought would be dropped, like Edward Oalo and many others. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto is now going for Uhuru Kenyatta's support. William Samoei Ruto wants Uhuru Kenyatta to support him in 2027. And by the way, if for those of you who can remember, in 2007, the late Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi threw his weight behind Mwai Kibaki. That is the truth of the matter. So William Samoei Ruto strongly believe that Uhuru Kenyatta can be convinced, and the elders can be used, Kikuyu elders can be used to convince Uhuru Kenyatta to throw his weight behind William Samoei Ruto. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you think Uhuru Kenyatta can agree to support William Samoei Ruto? In my view, it is very, very much possible. In politics, anything is possible. It is just about interest. Those are the birds that are celebrating when they hear me talking. Anytime I'm talking, you hear some animals talking and celebrating. So those are some birds that are very, very happy. So what is making William Samoei Ruto to go for Uhuru Kenyatta? Number one is because of the Gen Z. Gen Z is going to show William Samoei Ruto dust. Gen Z is going to run William Samoei Ruto out of town. Gen Z is going to crush Kenya Kwanza government. Gen Z is going to vote against anyone who is associated with William Samoei Ruto. From members of parliament, MCAs, name them, to the president, they'll be voted out by the Gen Z. So already there is serious panic. Because when you look at what Morarake Basu is doing, when you look at Kasamuel, when you look at the civic education that is going on in the villages, in public service vehicles, everywhere, you agree with me that even if you are William Samoei Ruto, you'd be scared. You would be scared to compete with Gen Z. The youth are a very strong force, constituting about 70% of the Kenyan population. So anybody who goes against the Gen Z must be prepared to go home. So William Samoei Ruto strongly believe that Uhuru Kenyatta can actually have his weight behind him, and maybe the Gen Z can be neutralized the way he used Raila Amolo Odinga to stop the Gen Z movement. Number two, in my view, is because of Gachagua. In my latest video, I told you that Gachagua will resign 6 months to the elections, and he might go for the highest office in the land. He could be in the ballot as a presidential candidate. Whether Kenyans will vote for him, only time will tell. Because I've always told you that our politics is very, very fluid. Anything can happen, anything can change. Because if you are told that Raila would work with William Samoei Ruto, many people will not believe. I've always said that these are political cousins with so much in common, very little in conflict. So Gachagua may go for the presidency if Raila is not going for the presidency, because Gachagua's game plan is to support Raila Amolo Odinga should he go for the presidency. But if he doesn't go for the presidency, because William Samoei Ruto is going to drop him, he is going to claim that office. And because Gachagua is working very hard to control the politics of the mountain, if William Samoei Ruto uses Uhuru Kenyatta, Gachagua can be neutralized. That is the idea behind everything. Because I'm looking at Rigathi Gachagua. Truth be told, Gachagua is gaining ground. Truth be told, Gachagua is now having more support in the mountain than William Samoei Ruto. Truth be told, that William Samoei Ruto does not have any support left in the mountain. From the MCA all the way to the governors. If you listen to the senators today, their Mount Kenya senators are solidly behind Rigathi Gachagua. And he's now going all the way now to the MCA. And I hope that with the time, he's going to reach other regions. Because you see, Gachagua has always been accused of being a regional leader. The moment he goes national, things might change. Who knows? And given the way the president is taking these people, for example, if you look at the new education funding model, it is hurting his presidency. It is hurting the people. Everybody is up in arm. Because you cannot tell me Amaboga is going to raise over 60,000 atapata wapi when education is supposed to be free. So the fact that Kenyatta is somebody who is loved by many people, especially in the mountain, and actually in the country, if he uses Uhuru Kenyatta, he can actually maybe gain some ground. But do you think people can listen to Uhuru Kenyatta if he decide to support William Samoei Ruto? Because I would highly doubt. I would highly doubt if people would support William Samoei Ruto because of Uhuru Kenyatta. Just like people have refused to support William Samoei Ruto because of Raila Amolo Odinga. The other one is about the Mount Kenya votes. William Samoei Ruto has lost the mountain, as I've always said. It is gone kabisa. And now that people are very much reluctant to support Rigathi Gachagua, and there's no clear kingpin who has come out, and everybody shows that their kingpin is still Uhuru Kenyatta. He has never handed the baton to anybody else. If you listen to the Limuru 3, what people are saying is that they were solidly behind Uhuru Kenyatta. And there's a belief, people strongly believe that Uhuru was actually, the shadow was looming large in Limuru 3. And there's no way you can talk about Mount Kenya politics without talking about Uhuru Kenyatta. So the fact that he seems to be the man who is still having the baton means that if we decide to support William Samoei Ruto, maybe he can gain some ground. Last but not least is because of Jimi Wanjigi. Jimi Wanjigi, as you watch in this video, because I'm going to put Jimi Wanjigi talking about some issues. Jimi Wanjigi seems to be uniting with the youth. Jimi Wanjigi seems to be attracting people like Morake Basso. I've seen some people trying to test the waters by putting the photo of Jimi Wanjigi and Morake Basso as the team to beat. Truth be told, Jimi Wanjigi is also becoming very, very popular in the politics of this country. Jimi Wanjigi is telling Kenyans the way it is or the way they want to hear. If you have been listening to Jimi Wanjigi, you agree with me that this is now a force to reckon with. Somebody you cannot ignore. The fact that he can easily outwit Gachagua, can easily outwit the president, then William Samoei Ruto is very, very much worried. Because you see, Jimi Wanjigi is also very rich, a very shrewd politician, and is somebody who can actually rally the people of Mount Kenya behind him. Whether this is going to work for William Samoei Ruto, only time will tell. I ask you one thing, guys, watch this video to the end. Listen to what Jimi Wanjigi is saying, because he's saying something. Let's hear what he's saying.
We must wake up and collectively demand for truth, accountability, and justice. Many times it is said that if it happens to one, we keep quiet. It happens to another, we keep quiet. Eventually it will land in each of our doorsteps.